everybody, so I'm back on the Superduke R Evo for the final time. No, I don't want to give it back. It literally goes back tomorrow. This is my farewell ride on it. So I thought I'd take you guys along for a little vlog style vlog. No pieces to camera, no super extreme close-ups of the bike. Just me having a natter. If you want to see this bike in close-up detail, I do have a dedicated video on that, which you are more than welcome to check out. Let's just say I get a little bit giddy and enthusiastic on it. But today we're just having a natter. We're having a chat, my final ride on this bike, and in this vlog I'm going to talk to you guys about why this just takes first position over the Ducati Streetfighter V4 and the M1000R for me personally. So if you're interested to hear more, keep watching. We're just having a ride for fun today, guys, over familiar roads that I know and love, because look at the sun. Just look at the sunshine today. It's absolutely gorgeous and I just want to have a fun ride. So we're going for a little bit of a bimble over rivy familiar roads. I just want to flit about on this thing, live my best life while the floors are dry. We've just hit September, which absolutely makes me sick in the mouth. I do not want it to be September. We're just one step closer to October, November, December, boom. Dreadful weather, dreadful. So it's been a pretty pants summer. It's been rubbish. So I just teased in the introduction then that I'm going to tell you guys why I kind of prefer this over the two other hyper-nakeds. I mean, can you class this as a hyper-naked? Because it's not in that 200 brake horsepower club, and I know a lot of people wanted it to be, but then again when you look at the torque figures you can't complain, Jesus. But yeah, I've been really fortunate enough to ride the M1000R and the Streetfighter V4 on the road, and if I'm being honest, you know, they all offer their own things. They've all got their own funness that they offer. They're all extortionately priced. In fact, I'm pretty sure that an R Superduke, not the Evo, I'm pretty sure that's the cheapest at just shy of £18,000. I know you've got the M1000R, which in M1000R trim is kind of comparable to the Evo in price. The Evo starts at £19,599. I can't remember exactly how much the base price is on the M1000R, but I'll flag it up on the screen now. And basically, that bike, if you want the full spec, it's an extra £5,000 for all the blingy carbon bits. You get a black bike, you get carbon wheels. If you don't go for the competition package, which is that £5,000 optional extra, you do get the white bike, which arguably doesn't look as tasty, but again, it's all preference based. But you do get something which I class as quite a benefit, and that's the forged wheels. Ain't no risk of the forged wheels cracking and breaking on you like carbon, so yeah. And then you've got the Ducati Streetfighter V4 and V4S, which, you know, they are on another league in terms of price. But that V4 engine in the Ducati is another engine that, like, just makes you tingle all over with the sound, with the feel, with the pull, with absolutely everything it's got going for it. Like, it's just a sexy, sexy engine. And I rode it on a group ride. I haven't, you know, had the opportunity to just take one and do my own thing like I have done with this. So that would be nice to do that at a later date. Even the V2, I really enjoyed that, but we're talking, you know, specifically about this class of bike at the moment, so I'll try and keep on track. There's lots of wet patches. I'm not quite a fan of that. Oh, look at this, got full-blown puddles. So yeah, I keep jibber-jabbering on. Right, I'll insert the price of the Ducati Streetfighter V4, and I'll put the V4S price on as well. I'll put the variants prices on so you can get like a well-rounded picture of what I'm trying to explain when it comes to these bikes. So as I mentioned, the 1390 Superduke, I got to ride this in Jerez on track and I freaking loved it. I didn't get to ride it on road. This is my first experience of riding it on the road, having this bike from KTM UK. And I've had it for about a month because when I was supposed to drop it off, it was that storm, and I was like, Dom from KTM, I will get blown away in this storm. Like, I'm light as it is. And he said, okay, we'll rearrange. So that rearranged date is tomorrow, unfortunately. So my order of what I would like, what takes first place is this, obviously. And you know what? I know I've only kind of ridden the Evo and not just the, you know, non-electric suspension variant. I don't care, I'd take the R because ultimately that engine is not changing between the two variants. And I'm sure it wouldn't really make a difference to me. Electronic suspension is nice and cushy, but we've got fully adjustable suspension on the R anyway, so you can set it to how you want it and jobs are good. If you haven't seen my first ride review on this bike, I definitely recommend you check it out because you'll know from my voice, you'll know from how I gush about it, how it makes me feel. That'll give you all your answers as to why this is my favourite bike, honestly. And if you can't be minded listening to all the stats and the specs and me sat on the bike demonstrating the seat height and my conclusions, just go for the ride bit because I'm hyped. I'm hyped to ride it. Then in second place for me would be the Ducati Streetfighter. I rode it and it is a lovely bike, and you do feel like an absolute badass and an absolute gangster. But there's just something a little bit more intimidating about it for me. I don't quite know why. I think it's just because everything feels really focused, aggressive, mega dialed in. And yeah, it just gives me, you know, I don't know, just slightly, oh, lots of gravel here, love that for me. Awesome bike, don't get me wrong, and like I say, when you fire it up, every time you do fire that bike up with a standard can, you do melt inside. Like, arguably the sound is better than this, and I love the sound of this. Like when you just wind it on when you're in quite high gear and it just like sounds a bit bubbly with it, like I love that. But the V4, the exhaust note on that it's in a realm of its own. It's another league. It's just so incredible. It's stunning as well, really pretty. And yeah, it's a close second because I do love my naked bikes, and who doesn't like lots of power? What are we doing? Get a bus through here, bud. Not that wide. What are you doing? Did you get your license in a cereal pack? Oh! What was that noise? That sounded like I hit something as opposed to exhaust note. It's a bit worrying. And the V4 does look cool. I'll pop some pictures of the photos that were taken of me on the day up on the screen now. And if you just look at it, you can just see, what is this car doing? Are you okay, hun? Can we drive appropriately? Come on. This is a national. yeah, as you can see from the photos, you know, the bike looks pretty gangster, and it feels gangster, and it feels amazing when you ride it, to be honest. One thing I don't like it when the two cylinders kind of knock themselves off when you're just like dawdling, because then the bike goes from sounding absolutely next level to it sounding a bit like a hairdryer. And I like my bikes to sound ruckus and violent at all points in the ride, and that's not something I don't think that you can switch off. And then the M1000R. This takes my least favourite. And you know what? It's a shame, because it would probably be battling for joint second if there wasn't one thing that, you know, messed me up a bit on that launch afterwards. And that was the vibrations of the thing. A day pushing hard on the roads, the lovely silky smooth roads at Almeria, it kind of messed with my nervous system a bit, I can't lie. It messed with my nervous system a little bit, so now whenever I'm at my desk and I look down, after that launch I do feel a pang of vibration up my spine. Now that can't be good, can it? But, you know, on the UK roads, we don't get roads like that in Almeria. And what are the chances that somebody's going to be, you know, riding it as crazy as it was ridden on them launches in the UK? Like, there's just nowhere to do it unless you're going to jail. Yeah, I mean, it's got so much going for it. It's got all the wonderful electronic suspension as standard. You've got all the rider modes, you can fine tune everything. It's a very easy and concise dash to use. You've got that lovely inline 4 engine, because I know there's a lot of people that don't quite like, you know, V4s or V-twins. They're die-hard inline 4 lovers, and in that case, then that would be the bike for you, I guess. But yeah, just a day riding that thing full chat on the Spanish roads, it's done my body in. And I don't know whether if I'm just a little bit more susceptible to it, because I ride for a living now, so I'm constantly riding. So when you think about it, you're on an engine that's vibrating. It's constantly got kinetic energy just coursing through it, coursing up through me. And yeah, not quite sure it's healthy, but here I am. So I guess if you don't ride all the time, like every day, then maybe the M1000R vibrations wouldn't be so bad for you, if it was just the odd Sunday hoon bike. But yeah, that's why it gets third for me, unfortunately. And it's a shame, because it looks cool. I mean, I'm not really a fan of the blingy calipers. I think they look a bit cheap and tacky for a bike that costs so much, but everything else, you know, it looks pretty good. It's got the wings. Again, I'll put some pictures on the screen now of when I was riding it in Almeria, if I can find them from the archives, because it was a while ago. But yeah, that's my order. I would actually like to have a Ducati V4 Streetfighter for a bit longer term, so that I can kind of ride it on my terms, take it to the places I want to, and really see if I can bond with it. But one of the things, that bike is very, very tall. Now this bike is quite tall for me, but the Streetfighter V4 takes the biscuit, really. I think it's got a seat height the same as my bloody GS. Sheesh. So yeah, that is a factor, because if I have to live with something like this bike is, I could live with it. I could own it. I just deal with the height. I'm just used to 1 foot down anyway. But on the Streetfighter, oh, so tall, absolutely wild. I think the M1000R from memory is a bit tall as well, but nothing like the Ducati. It's definitely manageable height wise, the M1000R. So yeah, this vlog wasn't massively riveting, I appreciate that, but I just wanted to get out on it one last time, and I wanted to take you along. And we didn't really push it, we literally just had a bimble, but I'm having a chill day today. And before anyone shouts at me, I am armoured up. I know I'm wearing my Knox jacket, but I've got my Urbane Mark III underneath. I'm also testing out a new microphone. I've just bought myself a Sennheiser, I think that's how you pronounce it, microphone, so I've got an external recorder in my pocket. I don't have any microphones on the DJI, and then of course I've got my GoPro Hero 10 pointing at me. To be quite honest, I would prefer it if that was a DJI as well. I think I'm honestly preferring the DJI as a main camera to see all. I'm also definitely liking the battery life of the DJI. Like, I have some endurance batteries in for my GoPro, and they're just not endurancing. They're just being a bit annoying, to be honest. Oh, honestly, I can't get enough of this bike. Oh. Oh, I flashed that car then. You could see the light reflecting on everything. That's a good old flash, that. Oh, the sound, I can't get enough. I just can't get enough, I just can't get enough, Guys and girls, I'm interested. I want to know if you've ridden the Superduke 3090, the M1000R and the Ducati Streetfighter V4. Let me know in the comments below which was your favourite. I understand, you know, probably BMW have maybe the best reliability reputation. I don't even know at this point, because all the brands seem to have something going on at the minute, whether it's R1300 GS issues as highlighted by Teapot One, and you know, it's not been smooth sailing for him, but he has done 12,000 miles on it because he's a gangster and he doesn't fanny around. And then we've got obviously the cam issues with the 790 and 890s from a specific year. Doesn't affect everything. I know people love fear porn and they love to dog things, and then it's like, oh yeah, all the 790s are dreadful, they've all got problems. It's just not true. So, and I do believe that KTM are trying to rectify those issues by offering people, you know, replacement cams, whether they've got service history or not. I want to say, don't hold me to that, guys. That's me talking about what I think is correct, but it may not be, so we'll stick the word allegedly in there. So yeah, from a reliability perspective, you know, I think they've all got the weak points, but I think it comes down to, I'm not going to go on the motorway actually. I think it comes down to what puts the biggest smile on your face. It's literally just what it comes down to. And for me, it's this bike. It's this bike all day, every day. Love it. Alright guys, on that gushy note, I'ma love you and leave you. Keep it rubber side down, keep safe, look after each other, and I'll see ya on the next vlog. Bye!